Now in 11D, once again, we have these hideous fractions and we want to get rid of them. So how do we get rid of these fractions? Well, it's over 2. This is the only fraction here, so what happens when we multiply the first equation by 2? The 2's cancel, right? So we get x minus 10y equals to 14, which is much better than this fraction right here. Okay, so what about this? Similarly, we can multiply by 2, and that gets rid of the 2's because the 2's cancel. So multiply every term by 2, and we get 6x plus y, the 2's cancel, which equals to 23 over 2 times 2, the 2's cancel, and we just left with 23. Okay, so there we go, we have that 2 equations and no fractions. Okay, so we can eliminate. We have a 1 and a 6 as the coefficient. When we multiply the first equation by 6, we have the same coefficient, so 6x minus 60y, which equals to 14 times 6, which then equals to 84. And then the second equation, just leave it alone. Okay, so what happens when we subtract? The 6x minus 6x cancel, leaving a 0, and minus 60y minus y equals to minus 61y. Now what's 84 minus 23? Fortunately, that also equals to 61. Okay, when we divide by minus 61, we get 61 over minus 61. They cancel, leaving out just the minus 1. So y equals to minus 1. Alright, so now when we eliminate the y, so erase the 6, what happens when we multiply this by 10? We get 10y and 10y and they match. Okay, so now when we do that, leave the first equation alone, multiply every term by 10, 60x plus 10y equals to 230. Okay, so add, because when we subtract nothing happens, they don't eliminate each other, but when we add they do. So x minus 60x is, or plus 60x is 61x, and minus 10y plus 10y is just 0, and then 14 plus 230 is 244. Okay, so what happens when we divide both sides by 61? We get x equals to 244 over 61. And what happens when we divide this by 61? We actually get a reduced answer of 4. So x equals to 4. So therefore, our point of intersection is x equals to 4 and y equals to minus 1. That's when it occurs. Okay, and to verify our answer, when we plug this back into our original equation, we should get 7 here and 23 over 2 here when we input the x and the y. So when we do that, 4 over 2 minus 5 bracket minus 1, we get 4 divided by 2 is 2, minus 5 times minus 1 is plus 5, which then equals to 7. Verifies that for this equation, and then for the other equation, 3 bracket 4 plus y, so minus 1 over 2, which equals 12 minus 1 over 2. The common denominators, so 24 over 2 minus 1 over 2, which equals 23 over 2, which also verifies for this. Okay, so notice that this check is always used, just to check for like if you got the right answer right. If you didn't, then you wouldn't get 23 over 2 or 7, which tells you did something wrong, which is a good indication when you're doing a test and so on. So this is good when you have time on a test to check if you got the right answer. So the point of intersection for these two lines is it occurs when x equals 4 and y equals minus 1.